Welcome to Safe Again, a mind, body, soul reset for the depressed and tired. Module 2, Breaking the Loop. Thank you for showing up today. I know it's not always easy. I want you to know that being here, just as you are, is more than enough. My name's Julie, and I'll be guiding you through today's module. We'll be starting right on time. If you have any questions, feel free to hold on to them, and I'll answer them at the end. This is a safe, no-pressure space. You can keep your camera on or off, grab a glass of water, lie down, stretch, fidget, snuggle a pet, whatever helps. Just take what you need. As a wise man once said, you're not a mess, you're a deeply feeling person in a messy world. When we're navigating depression, it can feel like we're stuck in a loop where every day is Monday, and even brushing our teeth feels like a full body workout. Let's begin. Module 2, Breaking the Loop. Emma and her friends had always laughed about it, sending photos on dating apps, talking to strangers, playing the game of digital flirtation. At first it felt fun, light-hearted, even a little thrilling. She wasn't looking for anything serious, just a bit of excitement, maybe a date here or there. Her group of friends did it too. They'd chat, flirt, and occasionally send nude pictures to guys they met online. It felt like the norm. Even the guys in their friend circle joined in, snapping and sharing their own pics, joking about the attention they'll get. It became almost routine, like a game they played. But deep down, Emma started feeling a nagging sense that maybe, just maybe, something wasn't right about it. Then came the job interview. Emma had just landed a position at a new company, feeling optimistic about a fresh start. She was nervous but hopeful. This would be her chance to move forward, to leave behind those old online habits and start focusing on something real. But as soon as she walked into the office, something strange happened. A colleague glanced up at her, a puzzled expression on their face. "Hey, have I seen you on Tinder?" they'd asked with a grin. Emma's stomach dropped. The room felt like it was closing in on her. It wasn't the first time someone had said something like that, but it hit differently now. The online persona she had created from the carefree photos she had sent all of a sudden felt like they were coming back to haunt her. She awkwardly smiled and shrugged it off, but deep down she felt exposed, like the past was catching up with her. Days passed, the feeling lingered. Emma started noticing small changes in herself and her friends. The conversations at work shifted. People in her circle, once hopeful and ambitious, started applying for low-paying jobs. They weren't really dating anyone anymore, not seriously at least. It was as if something had shifted in all of them. The carefree days of swiping and sending their pictures had somehow turned into years of feeling stuck. She couldn't help but feel like nothing would ever change. This is just who I am now, she thought. This is what I've become. The belief that things could never get better again began to take root, and Emma, just like her friends, started to feel trapped in a loop that began years ago but felt permanent now. The hope for something more, something better seemed distant, like a dream that was just out of reach. This is stable attribution in action, where one experience or a series of experiences is seen as a permanent fixture of life. Emma had started to believe that because her past was filled with these kinds of interactions, her future would always be limited by them. The digital choices she made years ago, the things she had shared and done in the past, began to define how she saw her present and her future. Nothing would ever change, but the truth is, this is not the end of this story. In Module 2, Breaking the Loop, we begin to challenge the belief that major depressive disorder is an unchangeable force. Recognizing these patterns, like Emma did, is the first step towards freeing yourself from the belief that nothing will ever be different. Why am I even talking to you about this? You're ready to move forward. You've done the deep work. You've had those soul-searching moments and probably an existential crisis or two. But here you are, still feeling like your progress is stuck in some cosmic traffic jam. This module is here to help you break that cycle. Time to give that inner resilience a swift kick in the astral behind. Your reactions aren't flaws. Let's get one thing straight. The way you respond to life's emotional roller coaster isn't some cosmic mistake. It's your brain and body doing their best to protect you. albeit in a dramatic, over-the-top way. But now the universe is handing you the tools to gently shift that pattern. And trust me, your higher self is already cheering you on from the sidelines. You deserve relief. So if you're still wondering, why am I feeling like a spiritual hamster running on a wheel? Stop second guessing yourself. The universe has no grudge against you. In fact, this module is your ticket to stop the mental ping pong match and start reclaiming your peace because, darling, you're destined for serenity. And yes, you've absolutely earned it, no matter how many times you've felt like you've messed it all up. And here's something your future self needs to know. The problem isn't you, it's your thinking style, that foggy, all or nothing, global way of seeing things. It's been hijacking your clarity. The overreactions, the indecision, the I'm just overwhelmed mantras, totally normal and totally shiftable, will help you trade vague emotional spirals for sharper, more specific thinking, less life is unfair and more here's my next move. You're just overdue for an update. Let's get your internal compass realigned, one thoughtful distinction at a time. What are we really talking about here? Before we dive into those pesky depression patterns, let's take a cosmic breather and chat about what well-being actually means. Because, spoiler alert, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. It involves things like your favorite pair of yoga pants, and yes, the stretchy ones. At one point, well-being might have meant eating more veggies because your friend turned into a green smoothie evangelist. Then some gym guru talked you into adding protein powder into your morning ritual. Advice piles up faster than you can say kale chips. Some of it useful, some of it, well, questionable at best. In a world drowning in advice, some sound, some frankly not so much. We're constantly bombarded by voices from every corner of the universe. There are some experts who have spent decades in labs honing their knowledge, and then there's the internet where opinions flow freely like an all-you-can-eat buffet of questionable advice. Doctors have years of experience, online advice has zero experience, just an abundance of memes and hashtags. Now, let's get real for a sec. Major depressive disorder is serious. It's not just a bad day or feeling a little down. It's like your emotional battery is being stuck in red for way too long. If you're struggling with depression, you need support that is as serious as the condition itself. We're talking therapy, medications, or a combination of both, depending on what your professional care team recommends. If you haven't already, it's absolutely essential to be under the guidance of a mental health professional, whether it's a therapist, a psychiatrist, or a clinical psychologist who specializes in mood disorders. So before you latch on to the next miracle suggestion, whether it's about healing, health, or personal growth, take a moment, pause, ask yourself, where is this advice coming from? Is it backed by science? Is it truly aligned with what you need right now? Your well-being is a custom-made masterpiece, and you get to decide what advice is worthy of your precious time and energy on this journey. You're the CEO of your own healing, no one else. Just make sure you're walking this path with the right professionals by your side. About me, I'm Julie, a certified clinical hypnotherapist, a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, and a life coach. I work with the mind and subconscious mind to help you unlock your true potential. Let's talk about how your subconscious mind runs the show behind the scenes. Right now, without you doing a thing, your body's breathing, blinking, keeping you alive. You're not micromanaging your lungs. Your heart doesn't check in with you for every beat. It just knows. That's your subconscious doing its thing. Now, if we all focused obsessively on something random like silk polo shirts, slim fit chinos, or those designer sneakers that cost more than your last 3 meals combined, our brains would start to believe those things matter a lot. Picture it, 1 year later, your closet looks like it's been sponsored by a luxury catalogue, and your bank account is weeping. Excessive? Yes, but also familiar. Here's the deeper truth. Your brain is always listening. It responds to your thoughts as if they're gospel. So if you constantly revisit painful memories, shame, regret, or even the flat grey numbness that comes with depression, your brain responds chemically. Your midbrain sounds the emotional alarm. Your hypothalamus and pituitary get involved, and boom, your body gets dosed with the same emotional cocktail you've been sipping on mentally, not because you were doing it wrong, but because you're wired for pattern recognition and protection. For someone with major depressive disorder, this isn't just a bad habit, it's a psychological loop, a real ongoing cycle where the emotional past keeps replaying in your body like a haunting playlist you didn't hit repeat on. But here's the empowering bit. The same system that wires in despair can also start to wire in something different. Not toxic positivity, not pretending everything's fine, but simple, repeated moments of stillness that support, or even a single safe thought. This isn't about snapping out of it. It's about noticing what's running on autopilot, and with the right professional care, gently starting to shift the pattern. Therapy, medication, and spiritual grounding can all work in harmony, and you don't have to do it alone, because your mind, body want to heal, even if it doesn't feel that way right now, even if your spiritual battery feels flat and your motivation is in a coma. Healing doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it starts with one quiet decision. I'm going to start looping differently from now on, and that's more powerful than any designer t-shirt. When it all falls apart and you're still in the game. Step 1, name the match moment. Let's talk about collapse, but through the lens of high-pressure moments we've all seen on the world stage. Sometimes life feels like you're cruising, confident, capable, even dazzling. Then suddenly it flips. That moment of collapse, it's not weakness. It's what happens when pressure meets breaking point. Depression can feel just like that. One minute you're in the game, and the next, your brain quietly hands over the bat and walks off. India versus Australia, 2023 Cricket World Cup final. India was flawless, all tournament, unbeaten, the favourites. Finals day, they set a respectable 240. The crowd in Ahmedabad, 92,000 strong, buzzing with hope. But Australia, quiet, composed. Travis Head made 137 look effortless. Final score, India 240, Australia 241 for 4. It was a stunning turn, a calm dismantling of a giant. That's what depression can feel like, India's internal collapse, even when you've done everything right. Brazil versus Croatia, 2022 World Cup quarterfinal. Brazil scored in the 106th, celebration mode, game over, right? Croatia equalised in the 117th, penalties followed, Brazil missed, final score, Brazil won, Croatia won, Brazil 2-1 in a penalty shootout, and Croatia 4-1 in the penalty shootout. Joy came for 11 minutes for Brazil, then disappeared like a ghost. Depression does that too. It sneaks in unannounced and pulls the colour from the moment. England versus France, 2022 World Cup quarterfinal. Harry Kane stepped up for a second penalty. Captain composed. He missed. Final score, England 1, France 2. It wasn't about talent, it was about pressure, exhaustion, maybe just too much, like when your mind freezes under the weight of being strong for too long. Step 2. Cue the commentary box in your head. Now imagine the internal commentary after a moment like that. I've let everyone down. I always choke when it counts. I should have handled it better. If your inner voice were to broadcast live, it'd probably get a warning for emotional misconduct. But you know what? You have to listen to that commentator. Try tuning into a new voice, the one that understands how high performance really works, the one that knows that comebacks are part of the inner game. Step 3. Challenge the commentary. This is the one where you step into your own power as a gentle analyst, not brutal but honest. Let's reframe the narrative. Like a calm sideline coach, I always mess up. Always, or just today? Even champions have quiet games. You're allowed days off. I'm cursed. Or maybe you're just up against pressure, fatigue, or bad timing. That's not a curse, it's being human. It's too late for me. Tell that to Serena winning Grand Slams as a mum, or Messi lifting his first World Cup at 35. Timing doesn't define worth. Every thought has a structure. If it's built on blame, we renovate gently, thoughtfully, with dignity. Step 4, your post-match interview with compassion. Now step into the press room, the mic's in your hand, but this isn't about defending yourself, it's about honouring what it took to show up. Try this. Yeah, today was hard. I didn't have it in me to push, but I'm still here. That matters. The score wasn't great, but I still wore the jersey. I turned up, and that counts. You're not downplaying anything. You're speaking with self-respect. That's strength. Step 5, visualize the comeback. India's heartbreak, Brazil's stumble, England's miss. They hurt, but it didn't define the team, and neither will this moment define you. Picture it, you exhale, you adjust your stance, you choose the next shot, not based on fear but belief. You ask yourself, what if this isn't failure? If I believed in my next move, how would I hold myself differently? How would I play this point if I knew a comeback was already in motion? Final spiritual timeout. If you're living with major depressive disorder, this isn't just a mindset, it's a full body, heart deep recovery. This is your soul doing the heavy lifting while the world only sees stats. Even if today's scoreboard reads India 240, Australia 241, Brazil 1, Croatia 1, England 1, France 2, you are not the result, you are the resilience. Let the noise swirl, let the critics chatter. You sip water, you breathe, you steady your grip on the bat or on the mic or the steering wheel or the duvet. You're still in this, you've got more to give. The inner dialogue of major depressive disorder. Recognizing unhelpful thought patterns. Depression isn't just about what's happened, it's about how your mind keeps replaying it. Certain thought patterns can trap you in the past, making it feel like it's still happening. If you've experienced major depressive disorder, you also might find yourself thinking, global communication style, everything in my life is falling apart, stable attribution, this will never get better. Lack of compartmentalization. I can't separate my work problems from my personal life. It's all just one big mess. External locus of control. I don't have any control over what happens to me. Excessive rumination. I can't stop thinking about how much I've messed up. Cognitive distortions. I always fail, no matter how hard I try. Past orientation. I wish things were like they were before everything went wrong. Helplessness or hopelessness. There's no point in trying anymore. Internal self-referencing. It's all my fault this is happening. The good news, the thought patterns can change. Recognizing these beliefs is the first to shifting them, breaking free from the past and reclaiming your future. What if it's not you? Hypnosis for changing the story you tell yourself. I invite you now to join me on a journey to nurture the healing already within you. Through this guided hypnosis track, What If It's Not You? Hypnosis for changing the story you tell yourself will gently rewire your subconscious, reminding your nervous system that it's safe to relax, to grow. Step into your own strength. Take a breath. Let's begin. Close your eyes now if you haven't already. There's no need to exert yourself too much. I wonder if you can notice whether your chest rises naturally and perhaps your body remembers how to settle down just like that. Maybe you've noticed whether others have also felt like they do make a difference. Sooner or later, everyone brushes up against that feeling of stuckness. Could it be that you're already feeling the chair beneath you softening into support, holding you more securely with each breath out? I wonder whether you've considered if your past setbacks, those unexpected twists, could have planted seeds for resilience. It's something many have thought about, even if only in hindsight, and maybe right now, as your thoughts settle, you're beginning to sink more deeply into a calm that's been waiting for you. Could it be that your breath has always known how to bring you back to yourself? People often realize they've been holding tension without even knowing it. As you exhale, maybe you can allow that breath to carry some of it away. You might remember a time, and knew someone who had tried therapy, every remedy, searching for a sense of relief. You can imagine that person discovering peace in the middle of a simple act of stillness. Maybe you can allow yourself to do that now too. Some say they never realized how deeply they were breathing until they noticed how still everything else had become. Have you ever wondered if your breath knows how to bring you home, back to yourself? Could you allow your subconscious to explore whether growth happens quietly, without effort, just like now, as you're listening? Even the smallest step taken in this moment might ripple into something much bigger later. Could it be that this very moment is where things begin to change? Maybe you'll notice that every time you pause before reacting, something softens. Not everyone sees that right away, but perhaps you're beginning to. Might you begin wondering what would happen if you responded to that inner critic with compassion the next time it speaks up? That could make all the difference. I wonder if you've heard someone say, "I always feel this way no matter what I do." Could it be that believing those thoughts affects the way we show up in the world? I can't make progress even when I try. And if I believed deeply enough, maybe people stop trying altogether. Could you consider whether gently questioning these thoughts could shift your entire relationship with yourself? Just enough to make space for something kinder. You've probably asked yourself before, where are these thoughts really coming from? If I paused before reacting, what would I notice? Have I considered what else this might mean? Maybe it's not laziness, maybe it's fatigue, or needing rest, or meaning, and I wonder whether those layers could begin to unfold gently in their own time, like petals opening up. Close your eyes and picture yourself putting on a pair of grey tinted glasses. Could it be that these glasses represent how depression has coloured the way you see the world? Muted, dim, slightly distorted. And as you wear them, might you feel more withdrawn and more distant? It's like the emotions shift into a different place, further away, harder to reach. Now imagine those glasses gently slipping off. Could you allow the colours to return? Bright yellows, fresh greens, deep blues. And I wonder if you can notice how your body reacts to that colour. Maybe your shoulders loosen. Maybe your breath deepens. Maybe something inside remembers how to feel joy. Perhaps you'll be curious to explore more colour in your life through nature, art, music, connection. Could it be that this is your path back to vibrancy? Could you imagine yourself just a little way down the road handling that same negative thought with calm awareness? Maybe you'll say, "Oh, there it is again," and simply let it float past. Can you picture yourself taking one small step towards joy, calling a friend, going for a walk, lighting a candle that smells like your childhood? Every tiny act a signal, I matter. Might you be developing an inner skill, the ability to pause, to choose, to shift, and celebrate even the quietest of wins? That's what change looks like. That's what healing feels like. And maybe, just maybe, this sense of choice, this openness, could extend into other parts of your life. Could it be the same awareness you bring to your breath can also help you handle difficult emails or unexpected news or the challenges of working with others? Isn't it curious how the same skill, pausing, breathing, noticing, works just as well in the office or at home or on the train? You're already practicing that right now. So as we begin to draw this experience to a close, can you notice a subtle shift inside? Just a little more space, a little more colour. Could it be that your body already knows how to integrate this new way of being? You didn't even have to try. You just allowed, and you did it so beautifully. Now go gently and keep noticing those colours, because they're always there. even when everything feels grey. Welcome back. You're perfect, just as you are. Thank you for being fully present and opening yourself up today. As you may already feel, this session has gently guided you into a space of deep inner calm and healing. With this shift, we now mark the completion of Module 2, Breaking the Loop. I'm excited to continue this journey with you. Over the next few days, we'll explore a series of 5 transformative modules designed to deepen your healing and empower your inner self. Module 1, Understand What's Going On. Module 2, Breaking the Loop. Module 3, Reclaiming Control. Module 4, Updating Your Inner Voice. Module 5, Looking Forward, even when I don't feel like it. Each module builds on the progress we've made today. While you may still carry the subtle echoes of this session, just know that these upcoming sessions will help you heal, grow, and maybe even laugh at how hard you've been on yourself. Spoiler alert, it gets easier, like finding your keys on the first try. Thank you, and remember, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But if life gives you a whole orchard, maybe take a nap first. Thank you for taking this brave step. I'm honored to be with you on this ongoing journey towards healing, growth, and empowerment.